Okay, so another Linux out of the box, and this is the daddy, Mint. Mint's one of the most popular distributions you can get, and rightly so. Slight change to the setup here. I've had to pull the 9060 out and put a 5060 Ti in because I'm about to do some work, so I need a card that can render in DaVinci Resolve. So we'll come to that in a bit. But yeah, so Mint, for full disclosure, Mint probably wouldn't have worked with a 9060 XT because of the kernel level, but a 5060 Ti is a pretty new card, so I don't think it's too unfair to pop it in and test it. Anyway, so let's go through it. Here we go, and we do the standard installer. Now, Mint is Debian based, so it's from the same family as Ubuntu and the rest of them. So yeah, select the installer and pop in. So one of the big things with Linux is always graphics cards, drivers, and these are the things that throw us. AMD used to be really good support for graphics. Well, it is. It's built into the kernel. It's like, you don't have to do anything. And most cards will work out the bat. However, there's some higher end functions that people need now, which aren't so accessible through an AMD card. One of them is AI, and the other one is the hardware encoding. So both the cards, this 9060 XT and 5060 Ti, have hardware encoding, but because you install the drivers from NVIDIA, you can actually access the hardware encoding directly without having to do anything else. I think there's a thing called AMD AMF framework, and because I use DaVinci Resolve as an editing tool, you just can't get it to work. So we are on an NVIDIA card, and I highly recommend that if you are going to do any kind of, content creation, professional kind of work, you do it with an NVIDIA card because it just works. And with all the other little foibles, issues you'll have with switching to Linux, it's best to go with something, to make your problems less. So as you'll see with this, the whole thing is just works, which is nutty, isn't it? So anyway, we're going to install it on the 1 terabyte external drive, because what I've done is I've switched to Bazzite as my main work platform. So I'll do a content creators video on how you set the machines up for content creation on Bazzite. Here we go. So we'll just whiz through the install. I'm going to speed this up. It's not that quick. It's not that quick. But yeah, Mint's been around for a long, long time. I tried it a few years ago. It's come a long way. It's got a great community. So restart, we've installed. Great community behind it. Great forums, all this sort of stuff. And it's hugely popular. It's brilliant. All my laptops have got, all my old Mac laptops that I don't want to get rid of, I wanted to breathe some life into. It's got Mint on it. In fact, I've done a video, if you want to have a look, on installing installing Mint on a T2 Mac, which are a nightmare to do any kind of installation in because of their stupid security chip that Apple put on there. But yeah, so there's a Mint version you can download. There's a video. Have a look at my channel, and you can bring back to life a T2 Mac with Mint. It's a great OS, and it's one of those ones where if you were like coming from a normal desktop background and you want to switch, I would recommend Mint to start with. And if you're going heavy gamings, yeah, so here we go. This pops up first of all. You can't see it's actually because I need to install the drivers, but the first thing you need to do with this is do the updates. So just go through this, and I think I'm going to whiz through these updates as well because there's quite a few to do. Just bring it before you start doing drivers, do the updates. And how it sort of works is, hang on, apply update, keep going. And the other thing you need to do is go into this bit, and what you can do is change where it pulls the updates from. So what you double click that, and now it'll show you the fastest speed. So I've got server.net in UK. So wherever you are in the world, it'll ping the fastest update. Select it and apply it. And then same with the base packages. There you go, much quicker. It'll pick the quickest one for you. So when you do these updates and stuff, it'll go a bit quicker for you. There you go. I'm going to speed this up because it's a bit slow. So we'll whiz through the update part, yeah. And there it goes, whiz in there. They'll all download, and then we'll have to do another reboot, and then we'll come back and we'll do the drivers. No, what I was saying was it's one of those, it's a great installation. It works on my Mac laptops and everything like that. And if you're coming from Windows, it's very similar workflow, you know, sort of way of working on there with the bottom left. It's like Windows, I'd hate to say this is awful. It's like Windows 10 or more Windows where you've got the menu in the bottom left-hand corner. The icons in this aren't the most beautiful in the world. Okay, so now we can do the drivers. Now this launches every time until you tell it to. So go into here and it should ping and find the latest drivers. Your system's up to date. So, okay, sorry, that's gone back into updates. So now I need to do the drivers there, and it will pick up the latest drivers. When I first got this card, it was like day 0 release. There was no driver, and I had to hack it with these repositories. But now, easy peasy. That's not the very latest driver. I think the latest NVIDIA driver is 5080, but it's enough. It's enough. Everything will probably work with that. You can bring it to 58 if you want. I'm sure they'll update to that, but it's whatever the recommended packages that's coming out. So that's going to install. And then hopefully we'll come back and we'll have a bit more screen real estate to play with. So we'll restart. So yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's a good everything operating system. If you wanted to replace Windows on Mac, go here first. If you're very heavily tilted towards gaming, then Bazite's your place. And it's a slightly different way of working in Bazite, but you can do all the same stuff on both platforms equally as well. So here we go. Now I've got a proper display. As you can see, it's like popped in properly. You've got other little bits in there. You can play Software Manager, which we're about to do now because we're going to go and install some software on this. But as you can see, yeah, all good. Now it's a really weird thing there in the bottom. I've got this AMD thing switched to, because it's an APU, so I've got an internal GPU unit or another update to do, as well as the NVIDIA card. So that's weird. I'm not going to play with that, but everything works. So it's like hybrid graphics on a laptop, and these do cope with that. But yeah, and this also works quite well on old hardware. I mean, I had an RX 5080 running on one of these machines with this, perfect, in an old Mac 5.1, all good. So what we've got Office is already put on there for me. Really standard stuff that you've seen before when you go into any kind of operating systems menu system. So this is Software Manager, and what this will pull down a cache of all the stuff we can use. Have a look around. VLC, all the stuff that's and Steam. There it is. So let's do that one first. So install. There are a few minutes with this. It does do some odd things sometimes when you install. So I'll do this, and sometimes it throws an error when it does these installs. You just reinstall again, and then you're good to go. But all the software's in those stores. So what we do is we've done with every single one. We'll put Steam, OBS, we'll put Alpaca on and start doing that, which is a local LLM, local AI. And on this one, you see I've got an error. Just do it again. Just do the installation again. Yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know if it's my internet connection or anything, but that comes up a lot here. And yes, those 32-bit drivers should have been installed when we did the NVIDIA driver install at the beginning, so it should be fine. So we'll test the word processor, we'll do Steam, we'll do a game, and also I've got a couple of scripts online to install DaVinci Resolve, and we'll get that working, and it will work because we've got 2 OBS Studios. I always go for the one with the highest rating. DaVinci Resolve will work because you can use the hardware acceleration of the NVENC encoders. You can't do this on an AMD card. It's so infuriating because I love the AMD cards. I just can't use Resolve on Linux with AMD, but easily can with the 5060. I mean, obviously with this you can scale up and put a 1590 in there, and the inbuilt encoders are better. There's more of them, I believe, the more powerful the NVIDIA card is. So yeah, let's put OBS on. And again, this goes through to OBS. So with OBS now, you don't need to use software encoding. You can just use the NVENC encoders that were built into the cards. And this is one of the big things that sort of helps you. Hardware encoding on the cards always is really, really powerful. I mean, the only thing that can beat it is the Mac, because the Macs have the encoders built into the chip, obviously, for ProRes, H.264, H.265. However, the NVIDIA card and the AMD cards have AV1 encoding, which is really important now because it's a sort of widely used encoding method. Your Netflix movies you're watching are probably AV1 encoded as they stream to you. You can't do that on a Mac. You can decode, but you can't encode. Okay, so this is Alpaca. This is like a front end to installing an LLM, Ollama locally. If you need an LLM, it's really handy to have it on your desktop. You don't pay for it either, do you? It's free because you can download the free models, and you don't have to pay for some crazy subscription. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy over DaVinci Resolve into the downloads folder and my run script. Now, if you need to find this script, I've got a video. It'll come up in a minute. When I install it, I'll show you give you a screenshot of the video you need to look for to get that installed. And it sort of works on pretty much all the distributions I could find apart from OpenSUSE. Anyway, obviously it comes with no guarantees. Everybody's got different setups. As you'll see, it works perfectly on this one. But it's all down to the video card. It installed it, but if your video drivers aren't right on your distribution, then you're going to have a problem. And if you're AMD, you won't get any hardware acceleration, or you'll have problems anyway, because it needs OpenCL. So that's very much for NVIDIA users. So just got to download Flatpak. Okay, that's in. And then there's another bit you need to. Here we go. So you need the Ollama instance run. So this allows you to run Ollama, which is this AI thing locally, pull models. You can go through all these hoops. I think this is really cool. You can go through all these hoops to set up a web GUI and run Ollama like you see online. But with this, it does the same thing, but in a really sweet little program. And you can drag and drop documents and all sorts of stuff to it. So we'll put that in. Now, as you can see there, it's a support for GPU acceleration with AMD GPUs. That doesn't work on my 9060. I think my 9060 is too modern a technology. I think you'd need a 7000 series card or even a 6 to get it to work. I'm just going to click around as things load. Graphics, Office. Yeah, I mean, it's all in there for you. I mean, as you go through the FlatHub store, that store, software manager, you can, find all sorts of stuff. There you go. There's tons of. Oh, that's just admin. So it shows you all the controls you've got. I mean, Mint's an old friend. Seriously, I've had it. Going to change that. But desktop, been using it for years in various carnations. It's just literally old hardware's best friend. But now with this is brand new hardware, and it still works well. It's not so great, I don't think. If you've got a brand new graphics card, you'll have to wait. All about the graphics drivers with Linux. It's nuts, isn't it? Or some funky bit of hardware might not be supported, but you can easily turn a Mint installation into a content creation machine. Easy. I'm going to do it with Bazzite. I'll go through my Bazzite rig, and you can use that because I just like the fact that I can flip over and play games if I want to. I can do some streaming. I can do some recording. I can do all sorts. So the next video will be the Bazzite content creators machine that you can watch. Anyways, we'll reboot him because you all should reboot after you install software on Linux. You just should because it changes stuff. Okay, so we're back again. So let's just go through and see what we've got working. Now, as you know, if you've watched any of these distro videos, this is where it sort of all starts to go pear-shaped. It's like this bit, okay, install this bit, you get this invisible, right? It's doing it properly. You're getting to see it's doing the update, the download update, and you don't see this in a lot of installs. It doesn't do it yet, that bit. It's normally missing. So you click on Steam and you think, what's going on? but this is correct. This is the right way to do it. Yeah, brilliant. It's you've got there's some great distributions out there, and some of them, you'd immediately look, because of how amazing they look and all this, you'd think, and sort of fantastically graphically looking, but Mint's not the most perfect thing graphically, but it works. And whoever the developers are behind Mint, the guys looking after it, they've done a fantastic job. It's like a really stable platform for Linux. And they do that. It's not a rolling release, so they do their upgrades in bits. But it's, as I said, it's normally the drivers which cause the issue. So here we go. It's got unpack. Up it comes, and it should just launch. There we go, and we're in. Just like using Windows, right? Or just like using a Mac. There's no missing thing. There's no gap. So let's just get there we go, QR code it. Wait till my loading user data. I've been doing loads of shorts. I've been going through my entire Steam library and making loads of shorts of the gameplay on Bazai, because I'm just testing. I've got 1,700 games for some bizarre reason over the years. I'm going through every single one, posting a 3-minute clip on shorts just to check which games work. It's just quite fun to see how Bazai can cope with, or Linux can cope with gaming. So download that. Let's get that out of the way for a moment. What else have we got? Let's have a look. So let's just open. There we go. LibreOffice benchmark. Do some typing here. What should we do? Hello. How are you? Let's play a game of global thermonuclear war games. If you want to watch that movie, great. Dial-up modems. And what else have we got in here? Sound video OBS. So normally, if you've watched any of the other distribution things, it does a test now for its encoding capabilities. But because it's got hardware encoding built in, click, you just apply, and you can see there it says it knows it's got hardware encoding. So if you go into Output, Advanced, and then go to Recording, do the drop down, you can see now we've got the NVIDIA encoders. So you just use those, and then you'll get hardware encoding. And literally, this puts no stress on the CPU whatsoever. So, and there you go. I would say just use PCM as your audio. Let's do some screen capture. Oh, I've done the wrong thing. Cancel. Let's do another one. It's that one. Okay, do the screen. Boom, fantastic. So my game's downloaded in the background there. Let's get rid of that. It works perfectly. Let's do a bit of dredge. I always do this on all the videos because fundamentally it's quick to download, and it's 2023, so moderately recent. Beautiful game. Small development team. Small, like you go fishing and dredging stuff up, clues in the name, obviously. And then but great graphics as well. Really good little game, but it's great. It's like 800 meg, and there you go. So that works perfectly. There you go, straight off the bat. How many distributions have I done so far? I don't know, 13 or 14, and I don't know how many of them have just failed with this, with just the simplest thing of installing Steam. And as I've said in another video, if your distribution can't install and run Steam from the bat with no problems, then your distribution has a problem, because Steam is the driving force behind the revolution of people moving over to Linux. So if you can't play Steam, if you can't install Steam, what are you doing? That's great. Okay, so the last bit here, as I said, there's loads of these. I've written 2 scripts. This is the universal installer script. There we go. If you look for that video, this is the little script you'll get when you get to the end of the download. I'm just checking the permissions. I don't know why. I think I did it run right. And now what this does, it pulls in all the dependencies really quickly and installs DaVinci Resolve for you, and you can use it. So there's that video, and I did one specifically for Mint that people use as well. but I did this all-encompassing one, so it was just easier instead of writing a script for every distro. So it sort of gets you there. If you've got an NVIDIA card, you won't have a problem. But obviously you can't do it with AMD because the hardware acceleration is there. So it does its thing. Off it goes. Updates. So it does a bit of an update. Looks for the dependencies it needs to go on. Shouldn't take too long, he says. Can take a while though. Depends on your internet connection or what it's doing in the background. But yeah, this is, it's the big change with DaVinci Resolve came when they allowed you to do ProRes encoding on Linux, on both the free version and the pro version. That means you can actually, okay, now that's installed. Let's have a quick look at this. Whilst that's doing its thing, open out Alpaca, go to models available and select a Llama version. Obviously, let's get the latest version, 2 million. Now, what will happen is, I don't think it's doing hardware acceleration on this, but a 2 billion parameter model's very useful to have it on the desktop to just ask questions. Okay, so now that's going. So downloading the AI model in the background, and this will extract the thing and start to go into the installer. And off we go. Show details log, so we've got something to look at. It does its installation. That script just preps the system for this. And if you run it again, it'll bring up the window so you can uninstall with DaVinci Resolve. So it just does its thing. But there is a dedicated Mint version, but this is the latest version because it's designed for everything. Okay, so that's done. So on the desktop, there you go. There's DaVinci Resolve. And let's have a look at Llama. It's still downloading. All right, let's open Resolve up. And up we go. Just skip that. I've copied a bit of video into the videos folder. So when you record your OBS, if you're going to edit in this, just record it straight into the videos folder and then it will appear in here. So I've just got this a bit ProRes. So change project frame rate, make a timeline. There you go. I'm just going to check the graphics card setup. There you go. NVIDIA, encoder, save. I'll go to edit. There's my video on the timeline. Just do an export. What have we got? That's the free version of Resolve, so you won't get MPEG encoding. You'll get AV1 on this. MP4, here we go. We got AV1. You should have, what else we've got? QuickTime. DNX. So you can use AV1, the free version. So if you've got the studio version, you'd get all the encoders there. So just fire that out in AV1. Just give it a quick test. Add to render queue. Put it into the videos folder. Okay, add to render queue and render all. That's quick. Mind you, it's only HD ProRes, so that's great. Quick DaVinci Resolve. Save the project. Give it a name, test. And there you go. So now relaunch. This is always a critical test. This is where it goes wrong. If it doesn't load the program, the project back in, it can cry. Yeah, that's an AMD thing with OpenCL. So there you go. There's your project. And you're turning and burning with DaVinci Resolve with hardware acceleration. There you go. So let's see how Llama's doing. Let's load it. And just with this, just type it in. Say, hello. Here we go. Can you do my homework? It's only 2 billion parameter model. It's been loaded into local RAM, so it'll be pretty quick. But it is really useful. Obviously, you could probably get hardware acceleration working on it. I may do another video on how to get this working with hardware acceleration because it should work with CUDA. Goodbye. There you go. So that's Linux Mint. Brilliant. It works. It does everything. It's really easy. Great installer. It does the job. So if you wanted to, this would be my recommendation for your first Linux distribution, this or Bazi, hands down. It's just a fantastic Linux distribution. So everybody involved who does Linux, man, you are quite literally the good guys. Anyway, thanks for watching.